Most important deal of the day, the hour-and-a-half phone call between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin this morning. Both the White House and the Kremlin released readouts of the conversation, and these are the key points. Russia has agreed to a 30-day ceasefire on energy infrastructure. That means that both Russia and Ukraine agree to stop striking each other's energy infrastructure. They will also start negotiations for a maritime ceasefire in the Black Sea, as well as for a full ceasefire and a permanent peace. Those negotiations will begin immediately in the Middle East. And one very important point from both the Kremlin and White House readouts is that they touted the potential for economic cooperation between the United States and Russia. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky said that he's open to a ceasefire on energy infrastructure, but he reiterated that these talks are taking place without Ukraine. And he called out the Kremlin's demand that the U.S. stop intelligence sharing and military aid to Ukraine is meant to weaken Ukraine. Obviously, that's the whole idea. So here's what this all really means. This is a very limited ceasefire on energy infrastructure only, which means that the overwhelming majority of the fighting will continue. Also, this gets Russia a pretty strong headline suggesting that they are open to making peace, when in reality, a ceasefire on energy infrastructure only actually benefits them. Because in terms of the actual war dynamic, the damage to Russia's energy infrastructure is way worse relative to the damage that they're doing to Ukraine. Of all people, Senator Mitch McConnell has already come out and said that the military aid that the U.S. provides Ukraine actually creates American jobs, specifically in his home state of Kentucky, and that the press should be careful not to perpetuate the headline that Russia is trying to make peace. So let's not give them this headline that they're trying to make a deal, which is what it looks like they're hoping for. Because other than this very limited energy ceasefire, they're giving basically nothing up and getting a lot. The Kremlin wants the United States to stop both military aid and intelligence sharing to Ukraine. There also doesn't seem to be any discussion of giving back the territory that Russia invaded, nor is there much in the way of promises that they won't be invading again in the future. But possibly the most long-term consequence of this was the mention of economic cooperation between the United States and Russia. That would be a huge deal. Not to mention that they would be getting those normalized relations in exchange for basically no concessions in stopping this war, which it isn't even stopping. Bottom line, seems like the United States and Ukraine didn't really get much, while Russia is on the way to getting everything it wants.